If I find one of y'all,
beating your ass.
I'm beating your ass. If any of you in my life is one of those, I'm gonna beat your ass. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Welcome back to Fictionally Unstable, because real life's not dramatic enough.
With your hosts, Jessica, Maciel,
and Lauren.
Hello.
Welcome.
We are talking about a rather
disgusting
and controversial book, Half His Age, the new novel by Jennette McCurdy. You guys might know her from her memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, as well as
iCarly.
Book came out pretty recently, like last week or something like that, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we jumped on it. We're trying to stay current.
Yes.
As current as we can be. Okay. I'll take us through a description of the book. You guys can give me your initial thoughts, and then we'll go through some key moments, because the book is so new, it was hard for me to find like a rather detailed synopsis. And then I pulled some comments from Reddit, and I'll read those and we can share any additional thoughts. All right, so Half His Age is the debut novel from Jennette McCurdy, best known for her memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, and was published on January 20, 2026. It's a provocative coming-of-age story told in the voice of Waldo, a 17-year-old high school senior living in Alaska who feels alienated from her peers, weighed down by family instability, financial pressures, and a restless urge to be seen and desired. The narrative centers on Waldo's illicit and emotionally charged relationship with her 40-year-old creative writing teacher, Mr. Okay, you guys listen to the audiobook, so is it Corgi or Corgi?
It's Corgi.
Corgi.
Like the dog.
A married man. Instead of romanticizing the taboo connection, the novel explores it from Waldo's perspective with dark humor, blunt language, and psychological nuance, illustrating how her longing for validation, attention, and escape from her chaotic life draws her into the affair. Alongside the controversial relationship, the story paints a broader picture of adolescence. Waldo's feelings of loneliness, identity, desire, class tension, consumerism, and the often messy, contradictory impulses that shape her search for connection and self-understanding. By the end, Waldo moves toward a form of self-recognition and independence, stepping away from Mr. Corgi and confronting her own emotional patterns, even as the story leaves space for reflection rather than tidy resolution. And that's kind of a description of the book. Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
First of all, why is her name Waldo?
I know, right?
Like, is her mom playing the Where's Waldo game? Because she doesn't know where the fuck she ever is, because she's just hoeing away with some man.
Kind of wish
the mom is.
Said,
yeah.
I wish she would have said, like, what it came from.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Jennette, you're just,
fucking around.
Fucking around. You're like, this is my first fiction novel. Let me just throw some fucking random ass names. And Mr. Corgi, I can't.
Yeah, it was interesting to me, because obviously this is a man that a 17-year-old desires, but then anytime she described him, I was like, he sounds fucking gross. Like, what's attractive about this?
Because he was pushing at least almost 40, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't sound attractive at all.
No, he's like balding. And then anytime she describes his scent, she's like, a whiff of BO. I was like, that's gross. Like, what is... And then she would like describe his like pit stains and stuff. And I was like, okay, like...
At first I was picturing, before she started describing him, I was picturing like a Mick Steamy from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, he's older,
Right.
But as she kept going, I was like, I don't think that's what he looks like.
Right.
I was picturing Stanley Tucci in The Lovely Bones.
Ew. The fucking like murderer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like glasses, like kind of bald.
Yeah.
Just creepy. And it's very, I don't know. That's what I was picturing the whole time. Like an older gentleman like that, because he was fucking weird.
Yeah. I was actually picturing the teacher from Stranger Things for some reason.
Oh, with the mustache?
Yeah. I forgot his name.
I don't
But
remember.
I was like, okay. Yeah.
I think the book did what it was supposed to do. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable.
Yep.
Anybody who's into age gap romances that are not of age, female or male main characters with a grown ass adult, y'all are effing weird.
You fucking
so then you perverted, you little pedo too. You know what I mean? You're very questionable. Age gaps are like 25, 35, and they meet as adults, not fucking,
like
I want
30, 40.
F my teacher.
Yeah.
No. And the teacher goes along with it.
Oof.
Like, people that like those stories y'all are just weird.
Yeah. Especially when I think this book did a rather good job at like not romanticizing it, but the ones that do like romanticize it, it's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were rooting for them to make it in the end, you're fucking weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Literally.
Weird.
We were approaching as like as the book was coming to an end. I was like, oh, I'm 96% through, and they're like still together. I was like, what the fuck is gonna happen? Like, is it really gonna end with her staying with her teacher?
I thought it was gonna end in like a murder. That's what I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah.
Like, it was gonna a twist, and then I was like, oh, she chose herself. Awesome, but I still didn't like the book.
The twist was, I guess, her finding her mom at the end, kind of.
Yeah, her mom lying to her. Her mom still being a help.
Yeah.
For show.
Let me take us through some key moments, and then maybe we'll go through and talk about any scenes that possibly stood out to us, because I have a few.
I have one.
Yeah. Okay. So some key moments in chronological order. So the first one is Introduction to Waldo's World. So
Where's
Waldo?
We should have had a Where's Waldo book.
I want you, if you can, in our thumbnail, you should put a Waldo.
We should have worn red and white stripes.
We
Damn,
should have.
we didn't think too much into this.
This fuck ass book.
Red Does Waldo wear a red beanie?
I think so.
Yeah. Can you clip art that on us?
Yeah.
For the whole episode,
Yeah.
have them like floating. Just opportunity. We just wanted to get this done.
Yeah. All right. So introduction into Waldo's world. We meet Waldo, a 17-year-old high school senior in Alaska who lives a chaotic life with her single mother, works part-time to help support the household, and fills emotional voids with compulsive online shopping and casual hookups. So one of pretty much the first scene is that she's having a sex with a peer.
Mhm.
I forgot his name.
Randy?
Something like that.
What
Yeah.
are these fucking names for these children?
Well,
Randy.
Randy's pretty common.
I know, but like,
Waldo.
you could have chosen something better. for a
I'm
child.
stuck on Waldo.
Yes.
Worst name.
And I think what had happened was they like mutually agreed to like break things off, and she feels nothing.
Yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it's whatever. So that's kind of a little insight into her character. 2, opening scene. The novel begins with Waldo having a frank and underwhelming sexual encounter, setting the tone for her emotional disconnection and blunt self-awareness, i.e. the encounter with her peer. Key moment number 3 is meeting Mr. Corgi. So when Mr. Corgi, a 40-year-old married creative writing teacher, arrives at school, Waldo is both irritated and intrigued by him. His self-deprecating introduction of "I'm a failure" paradoxically draws her in and starts her obsession to him. Immediately, I'm like, yes, I'm super turned on by a teacher talking about their failures in life.
She's like, wow, he's so well lived.
He's so mature. Okay, key moment number 4, Waldo's first crush and pursuit. So Waldo begins to actively pursue Mr. Corgi, flirting, seeking his attention, and pushing into emotional and eventually sexual territory, even as he initially tries to maintain boundaries. Which brings us into when their affair begins. So their secret sexual relationship develops, marked by tension, desire, and ambiguous power dynamics. Jennette McCurdy deliberately portrays these scenes with blunt, jarring prose to strip away romanticism and highlight the dysfunctional nature of the connection. So pretty much their first sexual encounter was with the first school dance,
Mhm.
right? She goes to his office and he's there.
She goes to his classroom and then she just
Starts
fucking
grinding
straddles him and starts dry humping his ass.
Right.
And he's like, no, get off.
Please stop.
And then she won't. And I'm like,
and then she's like, call me baby. He's like, please, baby, get off.
I can't. So gross.
And then like a fucking teenager,
He comes
jizzes in his pants from a dry
He's
hump.
like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I fucking
I
swear. Because there are real men like that. And I'm like, I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I find one of y'all,
beating your ass.
I'm beating your ass. If any of you in my life is one of those, I'm going to beat your ass. Just never know. They come out of nowhere.
Nope.
Give it 10 years.
All right. Key moment number 6, Waldo's mixed motivations. So Waldo doesn't just want sex. She craves validation, recognition, and a sense of being seen. These inner monologues and rationalization show her complicated psychology and how the affair fills an emotional void. Key moment number 7, the relationship starts to shift. So as the affair continues, the initial thrill transforms into something mundane, routine, and tiring. The forbidden energy diminishes, making Waldo confront what the relationship actually means and whether it's truly sustaining her. Yeah, you're fucking with a 40-year-old man. Gross.
Yep.
Key moment number 8, family struggle surface. So interspersed throughout the scenes of Waldo's strained relationship with her mother, who cycles through lovers and instability, underscoring Waldo's emotional neglect and its influence on her choices. Next is confrontation and climax. So a key moment comes when Waldo realizes the limits of the affair, seeing Mr. Corgi for the flawed, ordinary man he is, and recognizing that he cannot fulfill her deeper needs. And last key moment is the ending and resolution. So rather than a dramatic confrontation or neat closure, the story ends with Waldo walking away from the relationship and toward her own future, symbolizing her shift toward independence and self-possession. And that was it. Pretty quick read. Yeah, literally got through it in a day, which I can appreciate. Any scenes that stand out for you guys?
The period one.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's where I was like, I'm going to throw up.
That was so nasty.
It was that one. And I just picture her like squatting and fucking cupping her shit.
Okay, wasn't she in the closet with towels?
Yeah.
Like they threw the towels that they used to like lay out on the bed. He like threw them all in there, right? So like, why not just use those? I don't understand.
Because she's dirty. Hello, she pulled her tampon out, put it in a napkin, and put it in her glove compartment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She literally did that 5 minutes before they banged. Like she's just fucking. Ugh. I'm sorry, but you're just dirty, Waldo.
Yeah, it was.
And if this is a representation of the author's life, that's what I keep thinking. Like, because she did date an older man
and like
when she was growing up. But the experiences, the connection with her mom, it's different, right? Like her mom abused her when she was younger and everything. So I feel like that's where the fiction comes in, like making up a dream maybe that she had of a better connection with her mom. But maybe she's pulling from real life that like these are things that she maybe did as a teenager, unless it's all pure fiction, but I think she pulled from real life. Regardless, like not judging her, but judging definitely the character, because again, this is fiction, like just fucking dirty and nasty.
Yeah.
Just nasty. Poor hygiene, like, come on.
Yeah.
You're an adult. Like, your mom wasn't dirty. She dated fucking lame-ass men, but she wasn't like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to live in an amazing home and have this pristine life to understand that hygiene is... Cleanliness is important, you know? Ugh.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Another scene that stood out for me was after they had called their relationship off initially, and then she sees him at the diner, and then she goes and pleasures herself with her chili cheese fingers.
Oh my God.
I was like...
Again, you're
fucking
disgusting.
Gross.
I was like, I'm sorry, what?
She's like,
Ugh.
oh, it kind of burns a little bit, but, and I'm like,
Ew.
I fucking can't.
You're fucking gross.
I was like, you're gonna get an infection, bitch. Like, come on now. I thought that was
I'm surprised she doesn't have an STD already.
She probably does. She doesn't go to a doctor.
yeah. Yeah,
Fucking
true.
gross.
How do we feel about the, like, I guess, interspersed shopping addiction?
I feel like that's common for some people to, like, impulsive buyers. They like seek fulfillment in material things, and it gets like quick, like instant gratification that like replaces gratification in their life. So I'm sure it's quite common, especially as a teenager.
Yeah. I thought it was, she used definitely like websites and things like that are very relatable to like the real world, right? So like
Sephora,
Shein, Amazon, Princess Polly, like all of those fast fashion websites. Do we think there's any connection between Waldo's fantasy for this older man and like the absence of her father or a father figure?
Oh, 100%.
1000%.
She got daddy issues. That's the only reason.
Simple way to put it. Yes. The whole time I was reading, I was like, daddy issues for sure. Yeah.
I think it's also her maybe trying to. She sees her mom where her mom feels like she only is happy when she has a man in her life. So maybe she's testing it out, right?
Yeah.
Like she's like, I'm not happy with these kids the same age as me, so let me go for something older.
Yeah. That, and also it seems like in her life, she had to, I guess you would say, mature or grow up rather quickly.
Yeah.
Right? Just in her family situation. So that kind of alludes to her thinking that she maybe needs an older man in her life as well.
Yeah, she even told him, like, I think when they were breaking up, I think it was, that she doesn't think about like regular teenage things. She thinks about like if they're going to have power or like water. So she's like, thinks that she has the same mindset as he does maturity wise.
Yeah. How do we feel about the ending? The rather abrupt ending.
It was pretty anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I'm happy that she, like the ball, she controlled the narrative for herself. So like cut ties was like, fuck it, just left.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, I'm not feeling it. So I'm not going to continue to, technically she was manipulated in a way with, Mr. Corgi, like when they finally became something. Because he was trying to get possessive and ensure that she didn't leave him. He was always like that, where she let the ball be in his court, right? So he would cancel plans and she would just say, oh, it's okay. He would take the phone calls in front of her. Oh, it's okay. Like whatever, right? She always put him first, in hopes that that would change something, like that he would put her first. And then when he finally does, obviously she's like, okay, I don't want this.
Yeah.
She's like,
But she didn't need to explain herself. Like, you know, I'm glad that she just left. And the one thing that I do feel bad about for her is that she had the hopes of, where was she going? Or where did she end up going? Not Sedona. What is it?
no, it was someplace that her and her mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello, it's in Alaska,
Like-
not in California.
Yeah.
Her mom kept promising that they would go like camping somewhere,
Yeah.
and it was always like an empty promise. And so
Right.
I think that's where she was leaving to.
Yeah. That, I just feel bad that she went back home. She's like, my bags are packed. This is awesome. We can just go up and go. She was excited for a new life,
And she
I
walks
guess.
in on her mom getting eaten out.
Yep. By the,
By the
Dirty
trucker
man.
guy. Yeah.
and then she takes the trip herself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I will say there was which I have it pulled up because I did highlight it. There was one part towards the end of the book where I was like, he's kind of right, though, referring to Mr. Corgi. And I think it was when, after they were officially together, and like you start to see Waldo lose interest in him and lose interest, like lose her libido with him, and et cetera, et cetera. And then he's like drunk or something, and she comes home. She comes home like late or something like that. But they're like fighting. And he says, right, of course, convenient, isn't it? You're an adult when you want me to leave my family, and you're a kid when you want to leave me.
Yeah.
Because she said something about how that like maybe she's not like what he's looking for, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like,
but him being the grown-ass man in the situation should have never viewed her as an adult to begin with.
True.
She never was an adult.
Yeah.
She was always a child. You thought she was an adult when you wanted to fuck her.
Yep.
Again, you need your ass beat.
You get your ass whipped.
You guys both have problems. So go to therapy. And then Mr. Corgi go to jail.
Period.
The whole chapter, I just highlighted the entire chapter because that was 68, which is the chapter where it's just all the text messages from Mr. Corgi.
Oh my God.
And like him like being like, baby, when are you coming home? Baby, what's wrong? Baby, like, and like leaving her voicemails. I was like, ew.
Ick. Yeah, immediate.
Ew.
In the audiobook, it was so I think I was doing laundry at that point in the book, and Lance had just got home from work. And so he walks in the room, and all you hear is 11:09 p.m. 11:03 or 11:09 p.m. 11:10 p.m. Oh wait, no, it says the name. Excuse me, sorry. It says Mr. Corgi 11:09 blah blah blah. Mr. Corgi whatever. And Lance starts going Mr. Corgi. He's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "I don't know this book," but that's how she read it.
Yeah.
As
Jennette
narrating
McCurdy, you need to take some audio book reading lessons because that shit was bad.
Yeah, it was
so bad.
really bad.
Was it like kind of monotoned or
the whole thing?
Oh, okay.
There was no emotion when there's supposed to be emotion. Like if he's pissed off, there should be some. The only time she changed her tone was when they were about to have sex, and she's using like the sex voice. And I was like, I can't.
And I told her, I said, I actually had to slow it down because she reads so fast.
Yeah.
So I actually slowed down the speed because I was like, girl, you're fucking rushing through it.
Yeah. It sounded as if she's just reading a journal entry.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's why I was like, is she pulling from real life experience? Like if she is, whatever. But it literally it could have been, the whole book could have been from the perspective. It is Waldo's perspective.
Yes.
But to me, it seemed like each chapter was a journal entry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, no conviction in her voice, like nothing, dude. It was not good.
Yeah. That's why a lot of times I have
problems. Because I highlighted this one, and it's the chilly one. She would literally read like this. I lock myself in a stall and start to text him that I miss him and that I have to see him, and then delete the text and go to his Instagram page and masturbate to it with my chili cheese fingers. The chili burns my vagina.
That's how she, yeah.
I was like,
facts.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. I have quite a few Reddit comments, some long ones too. So I'll start reading them, and you guys jump in and add on if you feel necessary. First comment is by user Comfortable Pair 973. They said, started and finished reading today. I couldn't put it down. Loved Jennette's writing style and how easy of a read this was. I relate so much to Waldo and her upbringing. Really harrowing parts.
Okay, let's unpack the one sentence in there of I relate, because you shouldn't. But
yeah,
I mean, maybe people do, I'm sure.
Maybe it's the
upbringing part.
The upbringing part, and, having a desire to be with someone older.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know it wasn't uncommon in my high school, actually. We had he might have been a football coach or something, but then he had like one of those like generic homeroom classes on the side, and girls were fucking him apparently. So
What school you go to?
Spring Valley High School.
And what year was this?
It was sometime between 2008 and 2012.
Vegas people, look it up.
So I had a coach, and he was accused of like doing perverted things with girls.
Oh,
Faith Lutheran.
yeah. So I mean, I'm sure that there are some people that relate to that aspect, but also this user could also be talking about like the mother
Yeah, like
And
the parent life,
shopping addiction, maybe. Those kind of things.
relationship troubles.
Yeah. I will say, like, I agree with this comment that even though, like, the story itself was uncomfortable, I did keep reading because I was like, oh shit, like, what's going to happen next?
Mhm.
Like, what's going to happen next? So I will give Jennette McCurdy her props on that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the writing was very simplistic. So it wasn't like I had to sit there and comprehend what I was reading. It was just like point blank, it is what it is.
Mhm.
Like a teenager wrote it, which is it's in
Yeah.
the perspective of a teenager.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can appreciate that. Okay. Next comment is from user No Kaleidoscope 1147. I love how honest it is about Waldo's thoughts. I think people forget that women can be dirty and perverted, gooners, and overly sexual. It's uncomfortable, but it's real and honest.
Yeah. I think so.
I agree with that. I don't necessarily like it being in the perspective of a teenager, but
True.
yeah. But it is what it is.
Mhm.
Next one, I don't know how to pronounce this user, but they said, I think people are stupid. Obviously, a book titled Half His Age will be uncomfortable. Were they expecting a fairy tale ?
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part.
It was not a love story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not,
This should not be a romance novel.
No. It is not.
Is it described as romance?
I don't know. If people think it is, I don't know what the genre is.
Yeah. Let someone look it up. But
It should
yeah, it's
I think
definitely
it
not
might
romance.
just be fiction.
Yeah. This is definitely not romance. So if you're picking it up thinking it is that, number one, ew. And number two, it's not.
Literary fiction. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So no romance.
Coming
title.
of age drama. But it's not, she didn't classify it as romance.
Good.
But yeah, anybody that thinks that, like, I mean, I would hope you wouldn't, but again, you're gonna get your ass beat.
Let me
If you do.
reiterate.
All right. Next comment by Alive Ask 4227. As someone who was in a very similar relationship at 18 with a 30-plus-year-old man, this book existing is extremely important. I don't really care about the writing style or how good of a job she did in that sense because she 100% executed the story in a way that is very hard to do in such a short book, which I feel this needed to be as short as it is. I don't know of any other story of an age gap that is this honest, let alone written by someone with firsthand experience. There you go. It was fast and a bit sloppy, but to me, that's just the pure narrative of the character, a surface level look into it, which is fine when this kind of subject any further diving into will just woo the audience in a way that the author would not want and create a misunderstanding for most others. She would need to be a way more mature writer to execute this subject deeper in a more serious storyline, which is closer to real life, but still the story just existing is such a good thing to me. I'm appreciative she wrote this despite its flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's her first fiction novel. It's not going to be perfect, and she will probably write more. So it's like her first, step into the fiction writing world.
Yeah. I wonder if she does continue to write, like, I guess what type of topics she will choose to delve into.
Probably controversial ones like that.
Like that.
I feel like she's just going to pull inspiration, right? She'll just continue with literary fiction. I agree with whoever that person is. It was good for what it was. My only note, just going back to, I wish it was like a journal style. It could still be fiction, but me as a reader, that's how I want to either listen to it or read it. Now, would I have a different opinion if I just read it without the audiobook? Maybe, but she kind of messed it up with the audiobook. It was like just a journal. So that's why I have that expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next comment by World Traveler 222. I actually like this
Where are
book.
we world traveling to?
Alaska.
Where are we going?
I actually like this book. Perhaps I'm biased due to my age being in my early 20s. However, I love gritty, vulgar writing by women that has a social commentary and it's not just for shock value. I think the book is a realistic depiction of teenagers. I like how JM does not hold back so much so I felt hollowed while reading this book and slightly drained after. Art is meant to make you feel her writing art is meant to make you feel, her writing definitely does. I think this book would have been for a more niche literary community. However, JM has a mainstream status.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. My door is open downstairs because of Duke, so.
Oh,
I thought that was Duke. I was like, what is
No.
that?
Probably someone doing
sounds like a
artwork.
grill.
Oh, I thought it was like a robot thing. I don't know.
You thought it was Duke?
I thought Duke was pushing something and then anyways, sure. Whatever that person said.
I think the comment by this person saying, I think the book is a realistic depiction of teenagers.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I'm like,
Some, sure, but I don't
not
believe
common.
this is majority.
yeah.
And there's no judgment to the teenagers that go through this. It kind of makes me sad that kids go through this
Mm-hmm.
with older manipulating
Adults.
people,
Yeah.
adults.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has a different upbringing. Just is what it is, but it's not the majority.
Yeah.
I will say the relation or the what do you call it? The depiction of teenagers in a sense that pulling from feelings of loneliness, identity, consumerism, like that's all relatable.
Mhm.
But like the other parts, I'm like,
And having maybe a crush on
Yeah,
An
a
older
crush on
person.
a
an
teacher
older
is common.
Yeah, that's very common too. But to go full on and actually explore, not a majority thing. Does it happen? Yes, clearly. To school. I probably had one in my school too. I just can't remember.
I also
try to
had a-
block high school days.
I also had a teacher who he was really good looking and he was younger, but he was probably like early 30s. People thought he was really hot. And his wife, which kids are cruel, they thought his wife was not good looking.
mhm.
A lot of students. Somebody made a Twitter account as him at the school and was like tweeting from his perspective, like talking about girls and like it was really bad to a point where he had to be like, hey, so whoever is like doing this, please stop. Like he
Yeah.
had to like make an announcement to the students.
Kids are brutal
I
sometimes.
hate fucking
Yeah, teenagers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was a teenager once, so I can say that, but
yeah, but I didn't do that shit.
I did not either.
No.
I just kept to myself.
I don't try to mess with people's lives like that. Like
No.
the fuck.
Yeah. If you do that, you're fucked
You
up
gonna
in
get
the
your
head.
ass beat.
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
We have a long list here.
Definitely cannot relate to the masturbating in a diner stall with a diner
Cheese
bathroom
fingers.
stall.
Two pictures of him and his children. Like, what the fuck is
Literally.
wrong with you?
Yeah.
Waldo.
Or anybody who does that, you gonna get your ass beat.
Ugh.
All right, next comment from B. Hime. I just finished this book. Personally, I loved it. Very engrossing, mildly uncomfortable at times, but great overall. I'm a big fan of Jennette's writing and totally want to read more of her work. I like her writing style, very to the point. I felt like the pacing of this book was generally fine, despite being a bit rushed at times. Also, I wish there was a little bit more to the ending. It felt like the story just ended so abruptly. I would have loved to see more about how Waldo looks back on what happened with Corgi, but Jennette has said she wanted to avoid coming off as preachy and have people experience Waldo's experience as it happens.
Hmm.
So I guess that was her intention and how she ended things. Yeah. I was overall just happy that it didn't end with her staying with the teacher. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, thank God.
Damn, I wish it would have ended with like a little mystery murder.
Into her next book, which is a mystery murder novel.
Yes.
I'm curious to see it when she does come out with another book, if her writing will continue to be this simplistic or if she wrote this
specific
to get a
for this.
feel.
Yes, if she wrote this like in this style to reflect a teenager.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if her writing will
Like a teenager wrote it.
You read
Right.
her nonfiction?
Yeah.
Was her writing? I mean, I know it was a nonfiction, but was her writing style similar?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like she's Waldo.
Gotcha.
But she has more emotion in her tone
Right.
in her memoir. It's really good. I listened to it. I think it's better to listen to it than read it because it seems like she's sitting across the table from you telling you her life story. It's really
I feel
sad.
like all memoir nonfictions are good to listen to.
Yeah.
I'd prefer
As
to
long
listen
as
to a
it's the
biography.
author.
Yeah.
Side note, I read listened to Britney Spears' memoir,
that
and
was
she
not-
did not read it. She had Michelle Williams, Destiny's Child Michelle Williams, read it. It wasn't, to me, I couldn't connect with it as much because it wasn't from Britney, but she does an excerpt at the beginning. Okay, I can hear the drill now. Sorry. But anyways, she says in the beginning, I think it's like her epilogue that Britney says she can't, just for personal reasons and not to revisit trauma, she
Yeah.
can't read it.
read it.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's still good, but I was like, damn, I wish it was her.
It doesn't have the same like impact.
Punch,
Yeah. All right. Last comment I have, it's pretty long, and then I have a reply that someone wrote to this person's comment. But the user is funimpression6001. They say, please only proceed if you have finished reading. It's amazing how Jennette managed to paint this relationship between Waldo and Mr. Corgi. It wasn't sensationalized. Each page I waited for something terrifying to happen, but it never did. I like how the relationship was never portrayed as good at all. It always had a certain darkness surrounding it. Not because power dynamics are inherently dark, but because Jennette didn't glorify it. However, I must admit that I was probably manipulated by the book. Subconsciously, I kept finding excuses for Mr. Corgi. Not because I liked him, I absolutely didn't. He was so unlikable, but it was hard for me to see him as an evil person. He felt dumb and annoying and not like a good person, but also not like a monster. I'm not sure what the book wants the reader to think or feel. I'm not sure what Jennette intended me to think, but I wasn't shocked by Mr. Corgi. It might be because I am only a few years older than Waldo and have also had experiences with older men that were intense in a bad way. Maybe I subconsciously thought that I would have been glad to have someone like Mr. Corgi instead of the ones I had. I don't know. This book definitely showed me how I still don't know much about power dynamics because I clearly can't see through them, because the other readers seem to be shocked about the dynamics of the relationship. Another thing I didn't understand was the countless references to American brands, but it was a funny game trying to imagine what a Pop-Tart smells like or what Slim Jim sausages taste like. So maybe they're not from America. 1010 loved the book, but I don't really know what exactly I loved about it. The best part of the book was Jennette's writing style and her sense of pacing. There was nothing that was stretched out way too long and nothing that felt rushed. I can't wait for more books to be released by her. In which someone replied, I actually thought Mr. Corgi was the worst part. He's such a loser. We all know a man going after an underage, barely legal girl is a loser, but he came across especially loserish to me, to the point I was so confused about what appeal Waldo even felt for him past maybe a one-night stand. Granted, I'm in my 30s now, but there just didn't seem to be anything that drew her enough to keep going back to him. I think it's interesting to read a comment from someone who read the book as someone closer to this person, the main character's age, and also having similar experiences. Because, like, the commenter is saying, like, she couldn't see anything inherently evil about Mr. Corgi. Whereas, like, us who are older, it's immediately like, oh, yeah, he's a piece of shit, right? So, interesting. But yeah, I agree with the reply that he was a loser.
Yeah, he was a fucking loser.
And anytime she described him, I was like, ew. Like, for example, she would like go into about licking his belly hairs. I was like, that's gross.
That one, I was like, it was something about licking his belly hair like straight. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's gross.
And then towards the end, when he referred to his thing as my guy or something, I was like, oh my fucking God, get away from me.
Yeah. Well, she had already started to lose interest in him or had completely lost interest by that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting. Okay. That's it for the Reddit comments. Any last thoughts?
There was like, are there any? Let me read the negative ones. Those were all like positives.
I was looking on
go through
Goodreads
some
for the
negatives for
negative
this bullshit.
You guys can go into Goodreads. I didn't check Goodreads.
Yeah.
This one says, unfortunately, I didn't like this, which is a shame as I enjoyed the audio book of I'm Glad My Mom Died. It's repetitive and predictable with juvenile writing that quickly becomes grating. It says nothing new, offering no nuance or genuine introspection. Despite being a book that includes themes of grooming, abuse, and power, the shallowness is continued through the obvious insight, such as women are slaves to the beauty industry. Consumerism is bad. I shop on Shein to fill the void. Gen Z are always on TikTok, which are repeated by the main character many times throughout the novel. The sex scenes and explicit language are also haphazardly thrown in for shock value, not really serving much purpose besides that.
Someone said this will do more for someone who has done absolutely zero reflection regarding contemporary visions of consent and agency, who knew someone underage may actively pursue their own mistreatment out of sheer libido, boredom, immaturity, rather than always being groomed by a domineering aggressor. Many a pathetic leech exists to blame a steadfast child's steadfastness for said child's rape. Poetry, this is not, but I hope it can shock people into complex thought. Which it does, but they give it a 1 star.
Oh.
Yeah. Whatever, let's rate it. What'd you rate it?
Out of 5, I'm going to give it a 3. I like that it was a quick read. I like that even though the topic is uncomfortable, she obviously doesn't romanticize it, but points off because there was some really gross things about it, and the ending was pretty abrupt. But overall, for her first fiction book, I don't think it was bad.
Lauren?
I gave it a 2. It was easy to read. It was quick. I didn't love her writing style. I know it's from the point of a teenager, but I could have used more scene setup and less like run-on sentences about like her shopping. It would be like a whole paragraph of like just like this throw up word vomit of shopping. Yeah, it was okay.
I gave it a 1. I did not enjoy it at all. Which is funny how a lot of readers are saying, or even just this, right? It's of a perspective of a 17-year-old. So when I think back to that, have you guys ever read this book called The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum?
Mm-mm. I know of it, but I've never read it.
That is the first book that made me so uncomfortable, and I gave it a 5 star. Brief synopsis, it's about a 12-year-old boy. They live in a cul-de-sac area. I forgot the city, and it's based off a true story, where this girl moves in next door with his best friends or whatever, and then the mom of the next door neighbor, she's like wicked, and she ends
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, they put her in a basement, they assault her, rape her, all this stuff. They do all these cruel things, and she invites all the kids of the neighborhood to do that. And it's written in the perspective of that 12-year-old boy.
And I remember because I listened to the full true crime, like actual story of that woman doing that, the real story. It was so fucking gross.
And that was the first book that made me so uncomfortable, but I still gave it a 5 stars because he literally, that was the purpose of it, right? Like, it's not, well, I guess to me it's amazing writing because of how it made me feel. Yeah. I was like literally gonna throw up. I was crying, like all the things, right? This one, I think it's because she doesn't, it's straight to the point, yes, but like I would prefer to know more about how Waldo feels than the shopping sprees. You know?
Yeah.
Like a 17-year-old is so complex they're not just a fucking board, like with no emotions, no anything. Yeah, she portrays that to him, like nothing bothers her, but like you're too straight to the point that it's like, I got nothing from her. She's just a girl that likes to fuck. She got daddy issues, and then yay, she leaves the older man at the end.
Yeah.
Like, cool. And then there's nothing in the writing. I get it. It's a 17-year-old. There's nothing in the writing, but like, that's literally it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
You gave me nothing. You made me uncomfortable. Great. Woo, woo. But there's a better way of doing that in your writing. So develop your character or dive deeper into your character a bit more.
Jennette McCurdy, take notes.
So that's why I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then also too, Miss Girl, I'm sorry, but you got to get a better narrator because girl, if you're not going to give me nothing, then I can't enjoy your book either.
Yeah, I think had somebody else read it for the audiobook, I would have maybe enjoyed it more because it almost came off like she was just like this nonchalant like teenage girl who like doesn't care about literally anything. But obviously she does because she has all these emotions for Mr. Corgi. But like from her voice inflection, it sounds like she literally doesn't care about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just, let me just write a book and see what it does. Yeah.
Jennette.
I have this, so I was looking at an interview she did with Refinery 29. One of the questions it says, since this book is inspired by a real life experience you've had, where does Jennette start and where does Waldo stop? How are you similar to each other and how are you different? She said, I was in a significant age gap relationship when I was 18. I had my first foray into the world of relationships on a personal level that influenced some aspects of Waldo's relationship with Corgi and a lot of my unprocessed anger from that relationship. Waldo is entirely her own character. The story is entirely its own, and there's something really freeing and really fun about it that I loved. I certainly want to write more fiction. I'm sure people will project me onto it in certain ways, and that's fine if people do, but I really hope that if they can, they read it entirely as its own piece of work in its own world, its own set of characters. I think it would be a misread to put too much of me on it, to be honest.
Then don't narrate your fucking books.
That's fair. She shouldn't have narrated.
I mean, I didn't, like, when I was reading it, I didn't think of her.
Yeah.
But then after I read the book and I said 1 star, I was like, that's my initial reaction, right? And I never want to change from my initial reaction. If I'm like, already, these are the reasons why I gave it a 1 star. Could it have gotten more stars? Like I said, had I not listened to it and just read it? Possibly, because it's supposed to be written as a 17-year-old, blah, blah, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Then don't narrate your fucking book, girl, because now it really just sounds like you're reading your
own
life
stuff.
story.
Yeah.
To the same point about what we said about her not like putting a lot of emotion. So they said, I think it's great, or the interviewer said, I think it's great that you can tell people, no, Waldo is a character, this is fiction. Who would you say this book is not for, and who is it for? She said, I want to say it's not for somebody who's suppressing a lot and has sort of muted emotions, which is funny because Waldo literally has fucking muted emotions in the book. I don't think it would work for them. I think it's certainly for people with big emotions, for anyone who's ever embarrassed themselves or humiliated themselves in a relationship to try to have their needs met, to try to win the affection of somebody who didn't love them back the way they needed it or craved. It's for anybody who's ever felt deeply alone. I think there's so much loneliness that comes with this. You know, we mentioned rage. Anybody with unprocessed or processed rage, all wage is welcome here. So she's like, this isn't for someone who has muted emotions, but your main character literally doesn't have any fucking emotions. Or barely does.
Yeah.
And you read it like that.
You read it as someone with no emotion.
That's
It's interesting how I think your perspectives on something can change whether you've listened to it or read it.
True.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have listened to it. Don't listen to it. Just read it.
Yeah, just read
Don't
it
listen
and
to
then figure it out.
It'll ruin
She
it.
really ruined it.
Oh.
That's what storytelling is, you know?
Yeah. It's true.
You're supposed to feel something from a story.
Yeah.
And
agree.
it's how cinema and books and whatever, right? Like, if a fucking main character, check out our next episode. It's going to be Bridgerton. Actually, it's the one before this one. So go back to our episode of Bridgerton.
If you didn't
But
watch
imagine if Mr. Benedict is giving his monologues to Sophie and it's just fucking
Yeah.
blank. I'm talking to a
Right.
damn wall. Ain't
Right.
nobody gonna be like, oh my God, that's yearning. That's, oh,
Yeah.
I want them together.
Yeah.
Imagine if Anthony went to Kate and said, "You are the bane of my existence and the object of all my desires." Like, are you fucking him? No, you're not fucking him.
Simon to Daphne, I burn for you.
I'd be like,
And
Who's
she's
Charlotte?
like,
Who's
"No."
Charlotte to George? No, I command it.
But
shall
what
not
she
be.
does say when they're crying, what does she say?
What?
Sorrows.
Oh,
What does she
prayers,
say?
Prayers, sorrows,
Yeah.
sorrows, prayers.
That works because she doesn't give a fuck.
but even that has more emotion behind
Yeah.
it because you could tell she's being uncomfortable about it. It's like,
She's like, sorrows,
So, yeah.
prayers.
yeah. So if you read Jennette McCurdy's debut fiction novel, Half His Age, let us know what you think and your thoughts on it and how it made you feel. And if you would like to see more from her.
I would like to see more from her.
Yeah.
I think her writing style is good for what it is.
Yeah.
Right? For the type of, well, who knows what kind of path she wants to go
Yeah.
on when she starts writing. But if she's going to pull from like real life experiences and, you know, if that's her goal is to just be like, I just want it to be point blank, whatever. She should keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because everything is kind of romanticized nowadays.
Yeah.
Even if it's not romance in itself, like a lot of fiction is romanticized and
Yeah,
whatever.
I
So
agree.
sometimes we do just need a book that's
to the point.
to the point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it shows things for what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let us know. And
And if you a creep, you can get your ass beat in 2026, okay?
yeah.
That's the main takeaway.
That's what
Starting 2026. Hold on a second. Because I said, whenever you come out, you can get your ass beat. That could
Yep.
be,
From here on out.
Yep.
Ass beat.
check your friends,
And beat
Literally.
their ass.
everyone.
Yeah.
Check your friends, or you will get checked.
Yeah. And on that note, bye.